Hey guys, how's it going? It's Clarice here with That Dumb Movie Show. I'm feeling pretty ill today, so I'm sorry if this feels like quite a lax set. I feel like I'm kind of slumped quite a lot today, but I basically just propped myself up so I can speak words about Kong Skull Island. Now, I feel like I can't talk about Kong Skull Island without asking you guys whether you're either fans or at least familiar with the John C. Reilly character, Dr. Steve Brule, who was on Tim and Eric Awesome Show, great job, quite a lot, and he was kind of like a pseudo life coach, but just always seemed just a little bit drunk. Like drunk in the way that maybe he took a little too much advantage of the 2-for-1 margarita deal at the hotel, like that kind of drunk. And he used to always give really weird advice, like, go to bed early, you doofus, because when you're sleeping, there's no lonely times, it's just dreams. So yeah, I brought that up because I think John C. Reilly might be playing Dr. Steve Brule in this movie. I know the character is called Marlowe, but they're the same to me. I mean, in Kong Skull Island, John C. Reilly is wielding a katana and saying that women are as beautiful as a hot dog, which really seems like something Dr. Steve Brule would do. And then even on the back of Marlowe's jacket is the phrase, "It's good for your health." And obviously everyone knows, for your health was Dr. Steve Brule's catchphrase. And I realized that's quite a weird way to start talking about this movie, but I became so fixated by it because for me, it just represented how confusing this film is, how it's just this messy mashup of all these styles and genres and motivations. And yeah, John C. Reilly is hilarious in it, but it's like he's existing within his own little universe. It's a John C. Reilly comedy trapped inside a metaphorical Vietnam movie, trapped inside a literal Vietnam movie. It does take place in the closing days of Vietnam, and they use Nixon's 1973 speech where he announces that the US will withdraw troops from the country to kind of establish context. And then you see John Goodman's character trying to hustle up a team so that he can take advantage of the last few troops stationed in Vietnam to go on this mission to this very mysterious island that's been uncovered by satellite imagery and that may or may not contain a big giant ape. And so the team that's eventually collected together is very much about all these contrasting personalities. You've got Samuel Jackson's Colonel Packard, who's really the military man, and you've got Tom Hiddleston's ex-SAS guy, and Brie Larson's war photographer. And when these people all meet for the first time, they just very literally and definitively explain their stance on the Vietnam War, and it's deeply unsubtle. So Samuel Jackson will be like, "Oh, the camera is more dangerous than the gun. We didn't lose the war, we abandoned it." And then literally nobody is surprised when Samuel Jackson goes down the whole kind of apocalypse now military madman path and becomes intent on destroying Kong for no other reason so that somebody in the audience can point out that it's a metaphor for Vietnam. Do you get it? And it's just all very kind of wink, wink, nudge, nudge in that aspect. There's so many lines like sometimes an enemy doesn't appear until you create one. Get it? Kinda like in Vietnam. Which maybe would have been okay if it wasn't also shot like a Vietnam parody. It's just way too much, and it uses every single little camera trick and trope from the genre. You've got the helicopters flying across the hazy orange sunset. You've got little shots like reflecting off people's mirrored sunglasses or down the barrel of guns or through helicopter windshields, and it's just so excessive, especially for a film in which I think, I don't know, at least 2 or 3 times you've got shots of Samuel Jackson looking at Kong and Kong looking at Samuel Jackson, and it cuts between like his eyes and then Kong's eyes and then his eyes again and then Kong's eyes, and it's like, I don't know, it's like Quentin Tarantino just walked in for a couple of seconds and then just ran out. And while all this stuff is going on, I feel like the real problem is that Kong Skull Island completely misses the point of what makes a Kong movie so great. And you can put it through whatever stylistic blender you like. At the end of the day, it should still feel like a monster movie, which this almost doesn't. Like, I do find it insane that this film is meant to exist in the same universe as the Gareth Edwards Godzilla, which I know not everyone was a huge fan of, but I really loved it, and I especially loved how Edwards directed that movie. I think he has such a strong grasp on how to build atmosphere, because I just remember how slowly he built up to that climactic reveal of Godzilla, and when you finally saw Godzilla, and especially when he did kind of the fire breath, it blew my mind. I was so excited. And then in Skull Island, like within seconds of them getting to the island, Kong is just there. He's just like, hey, hi, it's me, Kong, I'm here. And it's just, there's no sense of build-up in that movie. And I think taking away that sense of anticipation and awe and excitement just completely took the fun out of this movie for me, because after that point, I didn't really care how many helicopters he slam dunked into the ground or how many weird dinosaur things he punched in the face. Like, there's just no sense of atmosphere in this movie. Yeah, I don't think I would particularly recommend Kong Skull Island, but if you guys have had a chance to see it, I would love to know what you guys thought. You can let me know down in the comments below, or you can hit me up on Twitter, details down in that description box. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe so we can hang out and talk about movies. I'll see you guys soon. Bye!